Welcome to Crack-A-Pack. My name is Andrew. Today we're cracking open March of the Machine. Let's get cracking. Our first card today is a wild card token. Then we have Dismal Backwater. We have a foil Halo Charged Scab. Our multiversal legend is Squee the Immortal. Our battle is Invasion of Kylem, which is recast as Valor's Reach Tag Team. Then we have Tarkir Dune Shaper, which transforms into Burnished Dune Stomper. Then Complete the Circuit, which for 5 and a blue is an instant with Convoke. It reads, you may cast sorcery spells this turn as though they had flash. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. So this is really wanting you to, 1, play it on your opponent's turn to then have a sorcery go off 3 times instead of once. So for 6 mana, you're getting to cast a sorcery on your opponent's turn and then copy it twice. It's well costed for what it does, and with it having Convoke, it's going to be even easier to do if you didn't swing a whole lot in combat the turn leading up to this. That said, I'm trying to think through what sorceries I would immediately want to cast on my opponent's turn. And I'm sure that there's a lot of great options. I'm just struggling to come up with ones right off the top of my head. Just to kind of get an idea of if this would be a really good snap pick or not. And I think it's good. And the Convoke making it probably being more like only 2 or 3 mana instead of 6 makes this all the better. So just talking through it without even thinking about what sorceries I'd want to cast with this, I'm coming around to it more and more. Being able to get around the sorcery speed, even for just 1 turn, is going to be worth it if you can line up that turn just right. You do need to have a lot of mana open, though, or have a lot of Convoke sorceries to really make it worth it. So I guess you're looking for a token deck in blue, maybe blue-black or blue-red, maybe even blue-white. I don't think you're doing this in mono-blue, though. You're looking to have probably a token strategy in, it'd probably be blue-white, and have a couple of sorceries that you want to be able to just cheat out or sneak out on your opponent's turn, basically. And one of them get copied multiple times. It feels, now that I'm thinking through that aspect of it, it feels a little clunky, but I think it's still good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think of Complete the Circuit. Is it clunky? Is it really powerful? Is there a sorcery you can think of immediately that you would want 3 copies of on your opponent's turn? I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Next we have Artistic Refusal, Kami of Whispered Hopes, Enduring Bond Warden, Halo Charged Scab, Wildwood Escort, Flywheel Racer, War Historian, Trailblazing Historian, and Vanquish the Weak to round out the pack. Now, today's Pack 1 Pick 1. Let's see. I think I'm gonna say the Kami of Whispered Hopes. It's a 1/1 creature for 2 and a green. It reads, if one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a permanent you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on that +1 +1/+1 counters are put on that permanent instead. And you can tap to add X mana of any one color, where X is Kami of Whispered Hope's power. So this is a signpost for drafting +1/+1 counters, right? That's all that it really cares about. But then it's also giving you some ramp because of them. As you start throwing +1/+1 counters on Kami of Whispered Hopes, it can start tapping for more and more and more mana of a single color. I think that's going to be enough to say, hey, this is doing a lot of good things. I'll take this as my pick 1 and then start looking for sources of +1/+1 counters, whether that's just things that are giving those counters or it's backup counters, because backup does give you a +1/+1 counter in addition to its other effects. So I think, yeah, that's going to be my pick 1. But there are other good cards in this pack, and if you have a different pick 1, let me know in the comments below. But that's all for today, so thank you for cracking along with me. Be sure to check back tomorrow to crack open another pack.